Hey folks, Rob here. And if you watched my last video on the Make It Ring target that I picked up, Sheila gave me early for Christmas, you noticed in that video I said we were going to trade off the Sky DVG-1 to get something different. And so I went this morning, met the guy. He was tickled with the Sky, and I have owned one of these before, so I know what they are. I kicked myself many times for letting actually I've had two of these different models, and I've kicked myself often for letting them go. But what we traded for is the Canik TP9sa. Now this gun is in the FDE Cerakote, and it does have some wear on it. It's not perfect by any means, but you know, mechanically it looks to be quite sound, which is all we're really worried about, is that it's mechanically sound. And so we have a little wear on our Cerakote in places, but nothing major. Have a little bit up here along this edge, you know, just little places where the Cerakote are kind of worn down. Now this just came with the one magazine and the one back strap. The guy had traded for it from somebody else he worked with, and you know, after a few trades, these things, a lot of that stuff gets lost or capped, or you know. So anyway, this is the Canik TP9sa, and this is the first model that come out. This was a model that caused all the fuss with the Caniks when they first come out. That this is a model that would get you killed. This button up here, if it got hit, would render the gun useless until you racked the slide and cocked it. And guys, the YouTube pro gunners come out in hatred on this gun. But I had watched many videos of people, some of the bigger channels, getting these and trying to get this thing to decock by dragging it, by running over it, by throwing it, by every means they could get to make this thing decock. And the only time they ever got it to decock is if they pushed the button down. So, and you know, from that backlash and all that, Canik come out with the DA, which I had one of those as well, which even if you hit the striker, you had the double action pull. And I had that, actually I had them both at the same time. I had the SA and the DA. Forgive me, let me get a drink here. But I had them at the same time. These guns impressed me from the get-go with the trigger, and this gun's unloaded. It did come with one 18-round magazine, and so it did come with that. I have another magazine already ordered for it, so we'll be getting another magazine in. This gun was made, the decocker was designed clearly to decock the gun for maintenance. I don't think it was ever put on there to be a decocker to put the gun in idle mode. Now, and it could have been too, because a lot of foreign police agencies don't actually carry one in the chamber. So, but this gun is dirty and it is dry. It doesn't look like it's been maintained in a while. Had a good cleaning. It looks like it's been shot quite a bit, but not cleaned. You can see the carbon inside here. So we are going to be cleaning this gun, and we're going to be getting it ready to shoot. So to disassemble it, you remove your guide rod here. This is a single spring, and then you lift your barrel out. This barrel is very dirty. I don't know if you can see down that, but it is dirty. The ramp is filthy, so we're going to have to do some scrubbing on this gun and try to get it cleaned up. So let me gather up my stuff, and then we'll do that. All right, so we have all of our parts laid out here on a cloth, so we don't get the table any dirtier than it already is. And we're going to start with this slide. This thing is extremely dirty. So I got our little toothbrush over here, and we're going to put some good old Hoppy's number 9 on it. Old Hoppy's number 9 has been cleaning my guns for years. Now, I've tried CLP and things of that nature, but I find for really stubborn dirt and grime and powder residue that it's hard to beat Hoppy's. This thing does not appear to have been cleaned in some time. We may have to go with a little stiffer brush. We may have to go with this nylon brush to get the kind of agitation we need on this gun. This thing is extremely dirty. Is that? No, that's the copper brush. And even that ain't doing too much. I guess over time maybe that Cerakote has worn off, and that's what we're seeing is the Cerakote's actually gone. That's the bronze brush. I thought I had a nylon brush. I do. So let's put some more Hoppies on here. Boys, this thing is dirty. Looks like it has been shot and put away. Yeah, I think that's wear on the Cerakote right there that I'm seeing, that permanent black. And probably this wear inside here is also the missing Cerakote. So we're just going to scrub this and clean all this up. And I won't torture you with watching me do this. We'll pause this. And when I get done with it, I'll come back and let you take a look at it when it's finished. So I thought any pistol this dirty, I'm going to take this striker assembly out. So to remove your rear pin, you just take a little screwdriver and you go in at the top and push that in. And while pushing down on your disconnect there, and that allows your striker plate to come off. We're going to pull that striker off. Well, here come our springs out too. So we're going to remove our striker. We're going to clean under this and our two little springs there. Excuse me, I got the cough for some reason today. And we're going to clean this up and inspect it, make sure everything looks good on it. It reinstalls like this, so it will go back in like that. And let's clean that up a little bit and then we'll reinstall it. Alright, I've cleaned out our striker channel. I took a 22 caliber bronze brush and a 22 caliber bore mop and put some Hoppies on it and cleaned out down in there. I think we got the striker housing fairly clean. We're going to work on reinserting that here. And to do so, we'll want to set our springs in. This might be trickier than it looks. So they go in there. We'll do it this way. And there. And I will hold this upside down and this way. And we will insert it. Making sure our holes line up. Let's try this a slightly different way. Make sure that spring goes in that one. Make sure that spring's in that one. All right, we got our springs in. Now we're going to insert our striker. And that will hold our decocker on. All right. So now we will take our screwdriver and depress this piece right here, the top of our striker guide. We're going to depress that and slide our back plate back into position. There we go. And we are back together. That is in there and reassembled. So, alright, we got that done. The striker channel's cleaned. The breech face is cleaned. A lot of that black you're seeing is just Cerakote wear. So that's probably about as clean as we're going to get that. So let's start working on the frame. Alright, now we're going to work on this nasty frame. And this is just about as nasty as the slide was. You can tell this gun has not been cleaned in a long time. Or it's recently had a bunch of rounds to it. Which is probably a plus. I mean, a gun that had issues probably wouldn't have a lot of rounds to it. Would be in better condition, just because a gun that has issues typically don't get shot a lot, because it kind of takes the joy out of shooting when you have a gun that doesn't function like it should. So we're just going to keep putting some hoppies on there and keep trying to remove some of this gunk. Go down the mag well. It's dirty. Get our rails on both sides. Guys, I think I might have an ultrasonic cleaner here in a little bit. I'm thinking about an ultrasonic cleaner for some of these really bad parts. When they get this bad, an ultrasonic cleaner would be great to get into all those little places you can't get. So, alright, I'm going to pause you here, and I'm going to work on this a little more, and we'll come back after I get it in pretty good shape. Alright guys, I ended up taking it outside, spraying it off with brake cleaner. There was just stuff down in there that I could not get to, and so I took it out there and blasted it all out with brake cleaner. I think we got her in pretty good shape right now. So she looks pretty clean, about as clean as I'm going to get it. I think the FDE color just kind of makes it look maybe a little dirtier than it is, but there was no doubt this thing was filthy. So now we're going to clean our barrel. And this thing is dirty as well. So honestly, I'm just tempted to take it out there and spray it down with brake clean as well. And matter of fact, I'm just going to do that. So stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a second, and we'll mop out the board. Alright, we've sprayed off our barrel, and we're going to wipe her down, and she is dry of any oil whatsoever. So we'll have to re-oil it, but we're going to get the brake cleaner off, and then we're going to start doing this. We're going to take us some hoppies here. We'll lay our frame over so we don't get dirt all over. Take our hoppies, put some on this throat right here on the feed ramp, the chamber. Try to start getting some of that carbon buildup off. Starting to see it move. Oh, you can see some shine there on the feed ramp finally. See a little bit of a shine to it. Start working that off the face of the barrel. Starting to look better. Starting to look better. Rifles look pretty good in it, so anyway. Alright, let's continue to work on this. Okay, we've got our barrel cleaned up. We've run our mop through the bore several times. And there's what we got. Rifles look good in it. I don't really see no indication that there would be any problem with this gun. It has been shot a lot from all outward appearances. You know, you got quite a bit of wear here on the side of your barrel. It was just dirty. Got a little wear here, a little wear on the side, wear point there. Not just the finish is gone. So anyway, we got our barrel cleaned up. So just because this gun was in such rough shape, I'm going to disassemble this magazine, because this magazine is probably as dirty as the rest of the gun. So let's see, let me get us focused here. This dang phone. So we're going to depress our little lever on the bottom of our magazine base plate. We're going to slide it forward slightly. We'll make sure we keep our fingers over that well. Remove our magazine and spring. And we're going to clean out the inside of this magazine. I'm going to take some hoppies and my toothbrush, and we're going to clean this out really well. Make sure we get all the crap out of it. Alright. Get up in here real good on the sides of these lips. Take our clean rag here. Cleaner rag. We're going to wipe that down. Then I'm going to take this rag and I'm going to feed it right up through the bottom of the magazine. And we're going to work it up there until it comes out the top of the magazine. Until we can get a hold of it. And we're just going to pull this rag through this magazine body. And that should remove everything. I don't know, it might not go all the way through. I may have to pull it back the other way. But you get the idea. That's gonna clean it out. We'll go back and forth. Yeah, there it goes. It's gonna go. It just has to reposition itself. So there is our magazine body cleaned out. Let's take our follower here, put a little hoppies on it, just clean it off, get any residue that might be on off. There's not a lot there to clean, so just give it a good clean and wipe it off good. And that should do that. Now we're going to reinsert it into our magazine. And with our finger, we're going to push down on our magazine spring. Start that back on. And there we have a clean magazine. So this gun has been completely, pretty much taken apart as far as you would need to take it apart. I'm going to wipe off this spring and we're going to do reassembly. So, okay. Alright. So we're going to take our slide here. And I'm going to take a little CLP and I'm going to put right a drop in the rail. Drop in this rail. Drop there. Maybe a drop right there on the back of the striker. I better put the barrel in first. I'm going to take just a little CLP. Just put a little bit on there. Just going to take my glove and just rub that on. That'll protect the whole barrel. Don't want a lot. Just a coating. We're going to insert our barrel. That may be a little too much oil. Let's wipe a little of that excess off. We're just trying to put a little bit of a film on it. Just enough to keep it from rusting and corroding. Insert our recoil spring. Push it in and down. Alright, now we have our slide reassembled. Did I put CLP in this side? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Alright, so we're going to take our frame, set our slide apart. Now this was sprayed with brake clean, so we're going to put a little bit on the rails here, front and rear. Put a drop back here. We'll put a drop right there. Drop right here. Drop right there. And I think that should do it. We don't need a lot of oil because we put oil in our grooves there. Lily's barking at something, so. Alright, we are reassembled. Function test. Test our decocker. It functions. Trigger functions. Alright, she is back together. Our magazine is back together. She locks back. Alright, so let me clean her up here and then we'll look at the trigger. Alright, so there she is all cleaned up. She looks a little better. So let me focus this here before this thing starts jumping. So she looks a lot better now. She is clean. The striker's been cleaned. Their striker channel. Striker assembly. We've pretty well taken this thing down as far as we can take it. Now, let's take the mag out and let's see what kind of trigger this got on it. Because this thing has been, seems to have been shot enough that it should have a decent trigger. If these had a decent trigger from the get-go, but so let's see what we get for our trigger pull. 4.5. 4.3. 3.11. 4.9. Let's do one more for a 5-shot average. 5 pull average, I should say. 413. So we have an average of 4 pounds, 5 ounces, 0.4. So 4 pounds, 5 ounces. So that's about a little over 4 1/4 pound trigger pull on this. And our reset and trigger, of course, you got your take up. You got your take up to there. You hit a wall. There's a little movement. Actually, there's really not much movement. And then guys, there's literally no discernible movement in that trigger. Has one of the nicest triggers. That's the thing that impressed me about these guns from the first time I ever shot one, was the triggers. Anyway, guys, this is a look at the replacement for the Sky DVG1, the Canik TP9sa in flat dark earth. We'll be shooting this puppy shortly. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And until the next video, we'll see you later.